Hey guys, it's Emongg from the Selfless Overwatch team. As you know, we have recently signed with Selfless Game in I think a little bit over 10 days, 10 or so days now. One thing I really want to do is kind of add some Overwatch content to the actual Selfless YouTube channel because I feel like a lot of people don't understand the game. They want to compete in it, but they don't really know what to do, how to play it, what characters they should go. Should I learn Pharah and Soldier at the same time? I'm gonna kind of it's gonna seem simple to a lot of competitive players, but for the new style player, the type of players that are like, what the hell do I do? That's what this video is gonna be kind of for. So basically, I'm gonna talk about the basically generic, four. I say four roles because it's pretty simple. And I'll kind of give you guys maybe base characters to play, and we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna go into the game, go to run around a tracer, like I don't know why, but. So for example, most teams, once again, this isn't going to be every single team. One thing I'm going to always suggest to people is to be versatile. What I mean by that is, don't just set yourself on one thing. So if you're a hit scan player, be good at projectile classes too. And you're going to go, what the hell does that even mean? So that's where we're going to start. First of all, most teams have the same exact setup. They have 2 supports, a tank, and then 2 DPS, and a flex. And I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what those roles are, and then you can kind of decide what you like, what you want to be, all that stuff, because welcome to Overwatch. So, for example, 1, you're a really good hit scan player, and people are going, what characters are hit scan? Well, I'll give you a couple examples of those. 1, very basic one, Soldier. A lot of players in that deep, and this is one of the DPS roles. Soldier 76, as basic as it gets when it comes to hit scan. So if you're trying to be just that hit scan character, go with a Soldier. And even then, I feel like it's more based off of what your actual role of the team. So if you're a projectile player, a lot of teams will have a really, really, really good Pharah. Always have a Pharah. No reason not to. So you're going to have, different categories you can get good with, and then you can kind of branch out and get better with them. So for example, like I said, Soldier, for me, being the DPS of my team, I don't play the Pharah. I am really bad at Pharah. Eventually I will get good at Pharah, but right now I know I have a lot better option to literally just play the base characters and get good with these under the DPS role I'm at. So, for example, I will play Soldier 76, I will play McCree, I will also play the Reaper, and I will play Tracer. Okay, boom. So you're going, oh, those are pretty much what I would expect you to play when you say you kind of play a hit scan type role. Obviously, Reaper, you can kind of just aim. By the way, I don't know why I have the Reaper set to a... I'm confused. Why is all my controls on... There we go. So as you can see, Reaper really is just basically point and click. So anyway, those are the characters I would focus on for that role. I would suggest also kind of branching out to a... I got move for interactivity. Anyway, I would say branch out to maybe a Genji later on. I find that a lot of teams will run like a Pharah Genji, but for now, if you want to just get you're that new player, you don't really know how to play the game, you're not used to shooting with a Genji, shit stuff like that. I wouldn't suggest going and playing a character like that. It's gonna frustrate you, and while maybe in the long run it could be good, a lot of us are very short-term people when it comes to trying to be good at something. So start with those. Then we go on to the next role. Obviously, we're gonna go to the Pharah. A lot of the Pharah players I've seen are really good at the Pharahs. They're really good at the Genjis. They're really good at the Junkrats and the Hanzos and the Widowmakers, and I would say work on those characters. Now you go, well, why Junkrat? Honestly, it's just something different when it comes to that role. I've seen a lot of players run that, and I don't know why a lot of players don't utilize how good Junkrat is, but a lot of them just don't understand it, and I understand that. And I would say that would probably those are the 2 DPS roles you can kind of split. I will say this though, there are some players who are really bad on Pharah, but they're really good Genjis, and that allows, really good synergy with a Pharah Genji combo. You might see some of C9 run that. You might see other teams, you'll see Seagull's team run that a lot, which is LG. There's a lot of teams that will run that style, that just all over the place style. Genji's a fun character, and he's very rewarding to get good with, but he's a huge time sink. And if you're not prepared to put in the hours to literally go and suck a Genji for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 hours, I would suggest, starting with the basic DPS and then going from there. The biggest thing I will say this, though, if you're trying to get on the team as a DPS, I would suggest learning the Pharahs. Because there's going to be a lot of players who they're really good at Soldier, they're really good at McCree, they're really good at Reaper, they're really good at Tracer. and there's gonna be 100 of you guys. And people always, used to complain to me about like Counter-Strike. They're like, I could never get onto a team. What can I do? Separate yourself. Well, even if you're a really good player, become a game leader. Guess what? Got a spot in teams right there. So there's, so we'll kind of go away from that. So there's the DPS roles. Pretty simple. You got most people watching this are probably going, this guy's an idiot. He just stumbled over half his words. I am sorry. It's been a long time since I've done YouTube, and honestly, I got to get the rust off of being able to talk to people without talking to people. I'm very good at streaming because I literally can look at my chat and I can use you guys to entertain you guys. Pretty weird combination. It's a lot different when I have no one to talk to except myself. Next, support. I'm going to talk about support for a second here because there's a lot of things happening with support recently. One, most teams will run 2 support, but at the same time, I would suggest to some support players to become a very good hybrid. What I mean by that is a lot of teams are running one support, and that's going to require the other support player to more than likely pick up like a soldier or something like that to be able to add a little bit more DPS and kind of run the setup. So for support, it's pretty simple. You're going to run, there's four. It's Zenyatta, it's Symmetra, it's Mercy, it's Lucio. I will say this, one thing that could really help, you want to kind of separate yourself from Lucio's. One, work on your movement, work on your ability to lead the charge. What I mean by that, so this is one of the support roles. Most teams will have a Lucio and a Mercy, and they'll also have the Lucio will sometimes come off and play Symmetra, or the Lucio player will stay Lucio, or the Mercy will then play Lucio. So the Lucio player that because the Mercy isn't as good as the Lucio, or vice versa, that person might have to play the other support. So when you're getting good at support, I would seriously suggest getting good at all 4 of them. Every single one of them has a different dynamic. You got, for the, obviously I'm not going to get into explaining the characters. Obviously you have, Symmetra has the teleport, it has the turrets. You have a really powerful left click that not many people know about. Literally just hold it and go. Rah! You have the right click where you can literally spam. It's a great character to get good with. I would suggest, like I said, when you're playing the support, get a little bit better at the, maybe get decent at a soldier. Get good at a Junkrat, something we talked about before. Get good at these type of characters. Get good at the, the Torborn. I call him Tom John. Get good at those characters because if you can do that as a support, you're now already, putting yourself over some other support. Now, I'm not saying don't be amazing at what you do, but this game is going to require you to be able to have to play a lot of heroes. Currently, we're playing a 1 hero limit. If it becomes no hero limit, then it becomes, there's going to be a lot more you have to get good at. But I would suggest, get good with the support. Be a vocal support player. I've heard and I've seen a lot of really vocal support players play, and they do a really good job at that. Like a really, really, really good job being vocal, and it lets the DPS kind of just do what they need to do, which is listen and take care of their job. So that's pretty much the support, TLDR for that. Get good at all the support characters. Zenyatta sucks right now, but he'll be good soon. And, get good at a couple DPS. Be useful. Allow your teams to run that one support setup and be something else that can kind of, help contribute to a strategy. Because if you're being that player who doesn't contribute, what's the point, right? I used to be that when I first started playing the game. I keep getting removed for inactivity. It's really making me mad, but we're gonna keep going because this is a recording, and I suck. Why does it keep? Oh, because I sit and spawn. Duh. All right. Anyway, so next role will be the tank role. Pretty simple. One, you get good with Reinhardt. While maybe there'll be more tanks added to the game, and there could be more tanks may be added, but get good with Reinhardt. Every team needs a good Reinhardt right now. What makes a good Reinhardt is decision making, in my opinion. I think eventually every Reinhardt can do the little trick where you kind of 360 and spin around and hit people and put your shield up. What makes you a better Reinhardt than others is playtime, getting used to like everything with it. Having good charges, having good fire strikes. But most importantly, having good decision making. If you can have really good decision making as a Reinhardt, to where you're able to save your teammates but also make plays, you're gonna realize how good of a player you can be. So I would seriously recommend just kind of holding, waiting, and just being a really good Reinhardt player. I don't know why I said holding and waiting there. I literally have no clue why I said that. And working your Reinhardt. Obviously, we're gonna go. The other characters. If it does go to like a no hero limit game, it's gonna sound awful. Touch up on your Winston. Truthfully, Winston will probably be a big part of it if it is no hero limit. Back a little. This is a little sidetrack though. As a DPS player, get good with Roadhog. By the way, if you're playing the McCree, the Reaper role, the role that I play, get good with Roadhog. He is really good right now, and he's actually becoming more of a DPS for people. I wouldn't even consider it. He's there more to eat damage and just do damage. He's so good at that. So yeah, I forgot to completely mention that. But so I'd recommend getting good at all the tanks. Diva's gonna be buffed here soon. Get good with Reinhardt, though. Start with Reinhardt, get good with him, move on to the other part of the tanks. Be a versatile tank. Once again, you don't want to be just a Reinhardt, but you do want to be really good. The biggest problem we have in the game right now is people main things. They main things. What's going to separate you over each meta when the patch change, when the game changes and the patch changes, is that you literally are able to play different characters based off of that. For example, right now my team, you guys know us as Selfless, right? We are way newer to the game. A lot of us, 50% of us didn't play in the closed beta. So when that happens, we're going to be behind initially, but the long-term goal, hopefully, who knows what will happen, is to get good get good with many of the characters, and as the meta changes and players who just main characters fall off, we keep staying above, right? Shit, I gotta get out of the spawn. We keep staying above, right? Because that's what you need to do to be able to do that. For example, right now we do what we can based off of what we're good at, but we're constantly trying to get better at other characters, because tomorrow they could add you could shoot sharks out of a Soldier 76, and you have to be a really good Soldier 76, right? Or Pharah gets nerfed. Pharah shoots balloons out of his rocket now, right? And you can't use the Pharah as much, so you have to be good at another character. You have to do a lot of things like that, and people don't understand that. So a little bit of a tangent there, but yeah. So make sure as a tank you get good with Reinhardt. I highly suggest it, and then go from there. Right now, if I had to give you a priority, I would say Reinhardt, Winston, Roadhog, and Zarya. Zarya is a huge role, but I find that most Zaryas are actually played by flex players. That's my next role here. So we've covered the support, we've covered the DPS, we have covered the tank. That leaves the flex. So a flex player is a player who can pretty much play anything. What I mean by that is this player will have to play just about anything. I mean, literally, this player might be playing a McCree, he might be playing a Genji, he might be playing a Reaper, he might be playing a Soldier, he might be playing a Tracer, he might be playing a Junkrat, he might be playing a Zarya, he might be playing a Roadhog, blah, blah, so on, so on. What I find most players at the flex role, a lot of them will play a Pudge, they will play a Zarya, they will play the Soldier, Junkrat, stuff like that. I find that most players will start with a Zarya. I would suggest if you're a flex player, be really good on your Zarya, be really good on your Roadhog. Overall, just try to be good with a variety of characters, but I would suggest Zarya at first. He's really good, and having a strong Zarya and a player who's able to literally abuse the high energy on this character, it's an energy you can literally get, like, whenever you get, like, if you ever see a Zarya who's all lit up, yeah, he's gonna destroy a bunch of people. So be wary of that. And I would suggest, trying to get good with Zarya and a couple of the other classes, because that's what a flex is. Basically, as a flex, you get one of the more exciting roles, but you also get one of the more frustrating roles, because sometimes as a flex, you may be forced into something like a Zarya, and you feel like you can do more. So it's a mental game with that too. You have to be able to understand that it's a team-based game, and while some games you feel like you can go and get 50 eliminations and make your team win, sometimes you have to just bite the bullet, be that player, and just be a really, really, really good team player, because that's what a flex does. And I just got AFK'd out of a lobby again. But with that being said, I think I covered all the roles. For newer players, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. One thing that's really lacking right now is really good Pharahs, really good Genjis. Those type of roles, you guys can pick up on them. Start getting good at them. I think you'll have a spot in here. But at the same time, don't just be those players. Be very, very versatile. The players that are able to be good at the game, like in different roles, are the players who are going to be really, really, really making an impact. Currently, I am, one of those players who needs to learn more characters. I'm decent with some, I'm great with others, and I have a lot to work on. So practice, practice, practice. Find what role's right for you, and check out the Reddit. I think there's a competitive Reddit you can start to look at. I think it's competitive Overwatch is the Reddit. Start to go on there, maybe figure out how to get to know people and start playing. Also, competitive mode releases on this Tuesday, so you can start to actually meet some people on there and hopefully make teams. This game's awesome. I love competing in it. It's stressful at times. I won't lie to you. Being 6 months behind everybody else certainly is rough, and one of the hardest things for me to do is be patient with it, because I want to be instantly amazing, but I know that it's just with hard work you got to be there. So remember, without hard work, you're not going to be able to be good at games for the most part. Some players get away with it, but something that I've always stressed, and it's funny because Selfless has always stressed it too to a bunch of people, there's always somebody else there who wants it more than you, unless you're being that person. For example, if you're playing 15 hours a day, there's somebody playing 16. Make sure you get good practice in those. So to all the people that I haven't met yet, nice to meet you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It might be all over the place. I might sound like an idiot at times, and I'm sorry. I am so new to this. You guys have a good night. Check out my stream if you guys haven't. Check out my Twitter, which is Emongg45, EMONG45. My stream is EMONGG. I stream quite a bit. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.